Okay, let's go ahead and get started. If everyone can just make sure that their microphone is on mute. We're going to use the chat for questions. Okay, so today we're going to talk about parties. As you can tell, I am not Erica. Erica has a doctor's appointment today. So my name is Chrissy. I think, Lakin, can you mute everyone? Okay. A couple different kind of parties. So I'm going to kick it off and talk about Zoom parties. And then Amy Peters is going to talk about live sales. Kara is going to talk about Battle of the Hosts. Kaylee is going to talk about a power party, and then we'll kind of wrap it up with that. We're going to ask questions throughout on the chat, and we'll stop after each party to talk about questions. So then that way we're not like overwhelmed with questions at the end and we don't forget things. So Mindy Walton, are you on here? Can you watch the chat for me? Questions? I'm assuming she's on here. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started with Zoom parties. So this is something that I did a couple times while we were at home during the stay-at-home order. And so the way I ran this was I did a Facebook event 4 to 5 days before the party date. And between those 4 and 5 days, I did an interactive post each day leading up to the party and mentioned the date and time of the event each time I made the post. So what I found is that posting in the morning got way more interaction than any time of the day. So every morning I would post maybe a graphic that said, like, comment your favorite emoji to be entered to win free shipping for the Zoom party. And who participated would have a chance to win. So I did this every day leading up to the event. I tried to do it around the same time every day so that people knew when to expect it. And I made sure to mention the event every single time. So that's very important. You want to keep reminding people when the event is, what time it is, what's happening. And then I would choose 1 to 2 products a day to highlight each day leading up, because you don't want people to have no clue when they come to the Zoom party, because again, you don't have a lot of time to showcase all of the products. So maybe the first day I would do leggings and joggers, and then the next day I would do bras and tank tops. And I wouldn't post everything about them, but I would just give them some pictures, you know, our highlights, like why do people love our light and tights? They're squat proof, they're sweat wicking, they're compressive. And then the day of the party, I still did my interactive post in the morning to remind people that the party was coming. And then 1 hour before the party, I posted a reminder, but I also made that an interactive post because I wanted people to be commenting on it so that if anyone forgot, then it would keep popping up on their newsfeed. And then when the party actually started, you know, I had a Zoom link. I invited everyone. I just added the Zoom link to the party or to the event on Facebook. And I had the shopping link there the whole time as well. And then the actual Zoom party was only 40 minutes because I just had free Zoom. So I planned it around that. I would recommend doing probably an hour because that was really quick. Like I was sweating. I was like, this is a short amount of time to be showing all of these products. So I laid out a schedule so that I could stay on track. So I just did a 5-minute welcome of myself, like who am I? And you know, what is Zaya all about? Why do I love Zaya? And then I let the hostess kind of talk for a minute or two about why she loves Zaya and how we know each other. And then I spent 10 minutes on joggers, 10 minutes on leggings, tanks, bras, and I did try on some of those items. I didn't try on everything, but I wanted them to see, like we had the Sunset Block Chill light and tights in stock. I wanted them to see how those look on. because they look a little bit different than they do on the website. The Canyon Rose Flame, I always try those on because they look so much different than they do on the website. The joggers, I wanted them to see the peak zipper jogger. So I didn't try everything on, but just those pieces that you really want to highlight. And then I took 5 minutes to talk about them hosting a party, the business side of things, and then I did questions. Now, obviously, this schedule would change based on what we have in stock. You don't want to show people a bunch of things that we don't have in stock that they can't buy. So your schedule would depend on what we currently have in stock. One thing that was super helpful was I had another rep on the call to answer questions that people had while I was running the Zoom call. So kind of like we have someone in here manage the chat while the person is talking, they would answer questions and then they could find graphics. Like someone was curious what the leggings look like with someone who was 6 foot tall. So someone went on and found a graphic and just dropped that right in the Facebook event so that people could see it. So that was super helpful. I would really recommend that. But I think posting up until the day of the party every single day really helped. But it was just a nice interactive way to get to know people. And then I had several people from that party join my VIP group and end up attending my live sale later just because they enjoyed the Zoom party so much. So I would definitely do it again. I would be interested to see how successful it is when we're not at a stay-at-home order, but it went really well for the time being. So if you have any questions, you can drop them in the chat. I don't see any right now. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty straightforward. And I think the main thing is just post every day leading up to the event. So that is it for Zoom parties. I'm going to hand it over to Amy, and she's going to talk about live sale.
Thanks, Chrissy. Hey, everybody. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Amy Peters. I'm on Erica's front line. And I'm going to talk about live sales. I will first and foremost say this was not an idea of mine. Actually, one of my girls kind of brought up the idea to do a live sale with Saya, which a lot of other companies do, especially those companies that have their own inventory. So it makes it like really easy to show all the stuff that you have. But obviously, one of the beauties of beautiful things about being a Zaya rep is you don't have to have a lot of inventory. Having a live sale kind of makes it look like you do have a bunch of inventory, and it's a bunch of limited inventory. So this was really fun. And I think it was like the perfect time to do this. I'll probably only do this once or twice a year. It's not something that I would do regularly. A, because it's a lot of work, and B, I don't really want to train my VIP group to only be buying when there's a sale or a great deal either. So I really want this to be kind of an exclusive thing. So basically what I did for my live sale is I went through my personal inventory and I picked out items that we currently have in stock, whether that be only a size leg or one legging that we have like a size 2 available, or something that we had multiples of. And obviously I really tried to lean more into the items that we had multiple sizes in. But myself and 2 other people that were doing a live sale the exact same day kind of split the catalog, because one of the things that took kind of the most time is finding a piece and then going to that the catalog and making sure we had just checking basically that day what sizes we have available. And obviously because we've been on an inventory shortage, that changes like by the hour, especially when new pieces come. So, and also I took my rep's recommendation, and instead of just looking on the site and saying, oh, look, you can get this in an extra small, small, and a large, we physically went and added everything to cart to make sure we actually had it, because as you all know, sometimes it's on there and we don't have it. So it was a long process, but if you have a couple of people kind of doing it together with you, that was super, super helpful. So basically, same as Chrissy was saying, I hyped the crap out of my live event. I started last Sunday. I announced it to my group that I'm having this basically big live sale that I've never done before. I'm super excited. You know, it's going to be Thursday at 8 o'clock. Then Monday, I would make a post. I would have a game. And whoever won that game got an extra $5 off of their purchase for the live sale at 8 o'clock on Thursday. Same thing Tuesday, same thing Wednesday. And everything was, they would get that gift card for their purchase with the live sale. In the live sale, to make it even more appealing, I did free tax, free shipping, free gift with every order. And for me personally, I did if the party got to $1,000, that I would reimburse somebody's order. And for the free gift, I again took one of my reps' recommendations, and I went on Amazon and I bought a 10-pack of these Bohemian headbands. The 10-pack was $10, so essentially the gift was $1 a piece. I thought I would have 10 sales and that would be awesome. I had 28 sales, you guys. Like, this was a huge success. And I'm not saying like bragging, like I literally cried afterwards, like, holy crap, who thought that would go so well? But basically, so what I would do is I would say, hey, I have these black light and tight leggings. And I actually did like $2 off of every item. So, right, so I'm eating the $2 cost. I'm eating the shipping. A lot of my, the people that purchase are local, so I'll be able to drive a lot of this around, which will be really nice. And I ate the tax. So let's say on average, I ate 10% of the sale, but the reality is a lot of times when I'm offering sales, I'm saying, hey, here's a $5 or $10 gift card. I'm already eating that. And people aren't as excited about a $5 or $10 gift card. You know what they were excited about? The fact that they could get one piece that they think I have in my inventory. So what I would do is I would say, hey, I have these black pocket light and tights. I have them available currently in a 2, a 4, a 6/8, and a 14/16. Comment black pocket light and tights below in your size and say sold. And I did that with every single piece. And then at the end of my party, I went through all of that. I wish if I did anything differently that I had somebody there with me also writing down either A, the questions, or B, the sold, because I did this all by myself. I did it the next day when I went through all the comments, and then I sent each one of the people that had commented an invoice via Venmo or PayPal. Let's see if there's anything else that I haven't. So yeah, that was basically my live sales, just kind of going through your own inventory. And then the next day, what I did is I just placed a huge, ginormous order for 28 different people. And then having them all sent to my house. I had like one girl who was in Texas, I live in Indiana, that had like 8 items. And I'm like, screw that. I'm just going to place her separately and eat the shipping and whatnot. So but yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of work, but really, really successful. And I think it's something that can be done for people that are new reps and only have a few pieces, or somebody that's been in it for a while. Also, I live by a lot of other Zaya reps who are on my team, and I borrowed some pieces that I didn't have. So my girl Steph, she had all the Namaste's and some of the everywhere pants that I didn't have, and I just wanted to be able to show them. So it was really nice to be able to borrow some. So I recommend that if you live by anyone else. I think that's all I wanted to share. But if you have any questions about that, feel free, again, like Chrissy said, to comment and I'll get back to you, or reach out to me personally too. I'd love to share with you some of my tips.
Awesome.
Go ahead, Chris.
Oh, thanks, Amy. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love that the gift was only $1. How long were you live for, Amy?
Holy crap. So I was live for a solid hour and a half, which I was not anticipating, but I had a lot of interaction. A lot of people, even afterwards, because we are in quarantine, they were like, I had so much fun with you. I felt like I was right there with you. I had my glass of wine. I mean, I was like chilling with these ladies, and people had fun with it too. So if it's something that if you have time in the next month or so to do it while a lot of us are in quarantine, I think this is a really great way. And I think it's really helpful in a time when our inventory is incredibly low, because it is hard to get things, and to have a party that successful with a limited inventory, I think is like a double bonus for us, right?
Yeah, Amy, when I did my live sale, I had 3 of my friends who got on a Zoom call together and watched my live sale together on a Zoom call.
Oh, that's
Funny.
fun. I did not cover any men's items. I thought about it, but I mean, already going an hour and a half, I didn't.
Same, I didn't either.
And I did not present any slides. We don't have Zoom.
There is a new Facebook Meet option. Also, if you have a Google account, Google Meet was now added to like every Google account. And as far as I know, that's free. I'm a teacher and I use that for school and it's free. I'm going to try that with a team call tonight on my personal Google account. But you can present with Google Meet. You can have 100 people on there. So if you have a Google account, I would try Google Meet. And I don't think they limit your time either. Awesome. I did not present any slides. All right, Kara, Battle of the Hosts.
Morning, guys. All right, Battle of the Hosts. I was talking to Brandy in our little chat that we have going on, and she reminded me that I had done something like this when I did a different company. And Battle of the Hosts can be really fun I'm very competitive and I have competitive friends. So if you have some people that are competitive, it's really plays to their competitive side. So Battle of the Hosts is when you have 2 hosts, and you can do it a couple different ways. Brandy is the one that reminded me about this. She is doing it with a live sale. So she's doing it with whoever gets the most sales, then someone gets a reward. I have done it in the past with a Facebook group, and I've had a couple different hosts, and they come on at the same time. And there's 2 different ways you can do it this way too. And you can do it with whoever people's comments the most, that person can get the most, can get another gift card towards sales. Or you can do it that whoever has the most sales, someone gets an extra incentive. And the incentive doesn't have to be big. People have a very competitive side. And when you play to that competitive side, people get excited. When I've done it with a different MLM, my sales like tripled for this party, and you have 2 events going at the same time in the party, so that each host gets their own rewards. But at the end, whatever competition you set between the 2 hosts, you give an extra incentive for the host that wins that. Does that make sense?
So you would have 1 group, Kara, but then 2 event links.
Yes.
And people would order from whichever hostess they're in the group for.
Yes, and then each host then gets their own rewards for their party still, but it's essentially running 2 parties out of the same group. And that you get your host then more involved by telling them to message their customers and be like, hey, comment on this if you're doing it about comments. And then people are getting more, the Facebook algorithms and however that works. The more comments and likes you get, the more people see it, the more they want it. And then if you do it the other way with sales, everyone's boosting sales. Like, come on, you guys have to help me get these sales so that I can win this extra incentive, whatever the incentive is. I, in the past, have done a gift card, but you can also be like, oh, I'll throw you a free bomber bra. I'll throw you a free headband for $1 that Amy just brought up. You can really bring it however you guys want to do it and make it whatever incentive works for you guys. I've done water bottles in the past. Like, you can really, people like being competitive.
Did you do this amongst like 2 of your hostess that you were?
Kip, I lost you.
Oh, sorry. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. So did you do this like amongst 2 of your parties that you had going on? So like her name is Jennifer and her name is Jessica, and you like battled them, or you did this against somebody else in another industry where like they sell lipstick or something like that?
No, I did it between 2 hosts. So I did it where I had two people that knew they were going into this. So like Brandy got a great pick, and we can add it to the links after this, but she and I both put our fists up and we made a Battle of the Host link, and we asked people if they wanted to do this. So then I had literally had two girls that wanted Zaya to host a party for Zaya competing against each other. And it's just another way you can feed having a party.
So, Kara, it looks like someone asked, did you post in both events then, or just in the group? And I just want to make sure I responded correctly, that you had one group and you would just post in that one group, but then there would be two event links.
Yes. So it'd be one group, and then they could see what each other were doing. And then, like, say Chrissy and I are the two hosts. Chrissy's people have bought this much. I'm like, hey girls, buy more, because we got to get this. We got to beat Chrissy's group. And that way you kind of feed that competitive nature the whole time. Chrissy and I would totally duke it out, guys, in a party too, by the way.
Yeah, we would.
My girls would kick your girls' butts, Chrissy.
All right.
So it would be definitely two shopping links, guys, because then
Yes.
I would want to get my host rewards, and Chrissy would want to get her host rewards for bringing people to the party.
Yeah.
So it's essentially running one party with two links and hoping to double the amount of sales.
Yeah, I wonder if people were thinking event and thinking Facebook event instead of event, like shopping link. That could have been it. Did you show or share?
I don't do Facebook links or Facebook events. I always do groups. I think that works a little better.
Did you show or share how much each hostess was at, like specific numbers?
I think this is unique in the way that you do it. So like I've done it before with comments, but I've also done it with like whoever people engage the most, because I think engagement is huge. But I've also done it with shopping, and if people ask me, then yeah, I do post it, but I generally try not to, because people can sometimes get icky with numbers. But you're like, oh, so-and-so has sold this many bras and this many leggings, and this person's at this many bras and this many leggings, and you keep it at items instead. But if the hosts were to ask me, I would let them know, and then they could let their people know.
Awesome. That sounds like a great idea. I'm probably going to try to do that this week.
You got to have some competitive people, guys.
How did you keep the team separate when doing comments?
That's a pain in the ass. I'm not going to lie. Sorry, I shouldn't have cursed. It's a pain and it's hard, but I literally had a piece of paper on the side, and I would keep tallies. And you have to go back. Like I went back every night and would look at new comments and new, I did it while I was still teaching, so that was harder, but now it would be a little easier because you could just keep your paper and every time do it. But when I was teaching, it made it a little harder because I didn't bring my paper back and forth from school to home. So at my lunch, I'd reply to comments. But now that I'm home, it would be much easier to do.
Awesome. I don't know. Can you see these comments, Kara? How do you know who is on which hostesses teams? And how do you know whose
a
party?
list from the host?
Okay. And how do you know whose party the comment belongs to?
So I got a list from the host that like who's in whose party, and having that list really made it so you could keep track of everything. I was just in a party for a different for Pure Romance where I had two hosts claim me. So I decided not to buy anything and I stopped playing because I was like, I know two of the hosts, and it got really awkward and uncomfortable for me. So try and make it two hosts that don't intertwine a lot, because then it could be really uncomfortable for your guests. The Pure Romance party, I literally like exited the group and didn't buy anything and it got really uncomfortable. And I told the woman that invited me, I'm like, I'm really sorry. This is not in my comfort zone anymore because 2 people are claiming me and it doesn't feel good. So like for me, if I were to do it, I have friends on the East Coast and I have friends in Colorado where I live, and I would try and have them, like 2 people in 2 different areas. I wouldn't want 2 different teachers from my school because then their people would intertwine. I wouldn't want 2 people like in my neighborhood or to have the same common friends to do it, because again, that would make it uncomfortable for your guests.
Yeah. Someone had an idea of doing a hashtag, which is cool. Like doing a hashtag after they comment so you can track it a lot easier. It's a good idea.
Team Sarah is definitely going to beat Team Chrissy, guys. Just for the record, and that comment. Thank you, Lauren.
Okay, so we have next up Kaylee. So thank you, Kara. That's awesome. Kaylee with Power Party.
All right. Hi, guys. So I'm a really big fan of the name that Erica gave my parties. I never thought to call them power parties before, but basically in a nutshell, what I do is, so other MLMs that I've talked to, a lot of them do like 2-hour parties or 1-hour parties. So I thought that it would be a cool idea to transfer that with Zaya too. So I do 2-hour parties, and I send messages to the hosts about a week before, prepping them. I give them images that they can post on their personal page, and I also give them a to-do list, just stuff that they can do during the party to make sure that they get the most interaction possible. And then if they want my help with with crafting a post to put on their personal page, or with messages that they can send to invite people, I help them with that too. And then the day before the party is the first time, other than posting the link, that I post in there. And I do it through events instead of groups, since it's just 2 hours. So the day before, I post a video, and it's like a Zaya fashion show. And I find that that gets people really excited because they get to see a bunch of the different items displayed on a person instead of just on the site. And then the morning of the party, I do a reminder post letting them know that the party's that night. And then a couple hours later, I do an introduction post where I post a picture of myself, and then I tell them a little bit about myself. And then the 30 minutes before the party, I do another post that says, grab your drink, your favorite drink. The party starts in 30 minutes. And then the first post that I do is kind of my welcome post, and it lets them know that I'm going to be posting quickly. I show a points game, and I have an image that I can share in Zaya Fire, but it's just lets them know how they can earn points throughout the party. And then I let them know that whoever has the most points will end up winning a gift card at the end. And then I let them know that I'll be responding to comments as quickly as I can. And I ask them to check in. So I do a little, like 3 questions saying, tell me your name, where you're from, how do you know the hostess, what's your favorite thing to do in activewear? And then with that, I make sure to respond, bless you, sorry, kiddo. But I make sure to respond to those comments as quickly as I can, because it makes them feel like I know that they're there. So just, I feel like they feel more of the connection that way. And then the next thing I do is go into highlight the features rather than specific products. So I'll show pictures of our leggings on people versus other brands, and then explain how our leggings are slimming and they stay put and stuff like that. And then I'll go into the quality of the products, let them know about new release Wednesdays, let them know we're boutique style so that they know that certain items, certain items are limited stock and might not be restocking. And then I also post a care guide so that they know how to wash the Zaya if they choose to buy it. And then the next thing I do is pictures of booties in Zaya leggings versus other major brand names. And then I highlight the sweat wicking. I show inside versus outside pictures of the light tights after workouts. So you can see that they're really sweaty on the inside, but they don't show on the outside. And then I highlight that the company is working on being more eco-friendly. And I show some of the eco-friendly products that we have, stuff from that line. And then I go into the sweat wicking and I show that, oh, I already talked about that. And then I also do the squat proof. I don't say squat proof though, sorry. I don't say squat proof though, I say that the majority of them are squat proof. I make sure that I don't say that all of them are squat proof, because I've seen in the like Zaya marketing and designs group, I haven't experienced it personally, but I've seen pictures where people have had issues with that wording. So I make sure I say the majority of them are squat proof, not all of them. And then I talk about no panty lines and stuff like that too. And then once I've covered all of those features, that's when I start highlighting specific products. And I do a lot of pictures, like not just stock images from the website. I make sure I have pictures of people from the marketing design group, so that, or pictures of myself, people on my team who have said that it's okay for me to share their pictures. Lots and lots of pictures of real people and the products. And then if I have the product specifically that I'm highlighting, I make sure I show pictures of me in it too, so that they can see that I really do wear the products. And then if I talk about something that's low stock, I make sure to mention that it's low stock too, so that they know going into it that it's limited sizes, we might not have your size. And then midway through the party, I ask how everyone's liking it, and I talk about the opportunity to host. And then I do more specific products, do about 20 posts total over the course of the 2 hours, probably 5 to 7 minutes between each post. And then for my final post, I thank everybody for attending. I talk about the rep opportunity and what it's done for me. And then I invite them to my VIP group in that post as well. And I let them know that the next day I'll be doing a gift card drawing after everyone's had time to catch up on the posts. I try not to do it the same night, just because I know there's some people that can't hop on live for the 2-hour event. And then as orders come in, I do thank you posts. And I keep everything on a Google Doc. And so I can just copy and paste it right over, so I don't have to retype it every time. And that makes it easier to post faster. And then the next day I'll do the gift card drawing. And then for the whole week after, I'll do a post at least once a day, just so that they know that it's still there, the link's still open, they can still order. And I'll show any restocks that happen or any new releases, because obviously in that week span afterwards, we're gonna have at least one new release Wednesday. So I'll post the new releases. And then I also let them know, like I have little graphics that I got from the marketing designs group that show them when the hostess has reached a tier or if they're close to reaching a tier. And I find that like if they know that the hostess is close, it'll drive people to order more again too. So, and that's all I have with questions.
It looks like most people are looking for like graphics and resources. So maybe after this, those of us who are presenting can hop in a messenger together, and then I'll do one big post on Fire of all the resources, like the graphics that we have, and maybe like the layout of the Zoom party and the power party and things like that. Does that sound okay?
Yeah.
That way everything will just be in one location. Any other questions? Not really seeing any other questions. Kaylee, how long do you leave the shopping link open?
So I usually do at least a week after, and then I have it open a couple of days before too, so that as soon as the event page is created, people can start browsing. Um, I have been letting hosts leave it open a little bit longer right now because of the short stock. And so I'll leave it open and then I'll just post about restocks as they come in. And then the host will remind people if they had their eye on something. But typically I do it for about a week and a half total.
And then do you ever go live in the Power Party?
I don't. I only go live in my VIP group.
Interesting. And do you do all of your parties this way or just some based on your host preferences?
I give my hosts the choice to do the 2-hour event or like 4 or 5 days. So far, everyone that I've given that choice to has opted for the 2-hour party.
And then how do you avoid the Facebook alert when posting your shopping link? I have found that when I add text with my shopping link that I don't get that alert. I don't know if other people have found that. Like if I say, hey, here's your personal shopping link, let me know if you have any questions, and then post the link under it, I haven't been having that alert. Yeah, does everyone know what alert we're referring to? Where it says like, this is against community standards. I have added text to every post and got 3 alerts yesterday. Yeah, I'm not sure. I think sometimes Facebook is just really picky.
It could too be, since the link didn't go to an actual site yesterday, since there was site maintenance, that might have affected it too. Because I know a lot of people on my team got that alert too.
Yeah, one of the girls on my team actually puts her shopping link into a bit.ly link, so it's shorter, or like tiny URL, and I don't know that she gets flagged. Brittany, I don't know if you can hear me. Like, does your link get flagged?
It doesn't get flagged, and the super cool thing about the bit.ly that I love the most is that you can see how much activity the link has received. So I can see how many clicks it's gotten. So when you use bit.ly and you create that link for your party, so right now I have a party for my friend Emily, I can see how much activity Emily's party link has gotten. So are people looking at her link? Does anybody care that it's there? Do people know that it's there? That's one of my other favorite things, but no, I do not get flagged when I use bit.ly. And Sarah, to answer your question, if you guys just go to Google and search bit.ly, it's a website. So BITLY, bit.ly. And when you go to that website, you can create a free shortened hyperlink. I just learned last week that you can edit the end of that hyperlink. So instead of it saying bit.ly / a bunch of numbers and letters, it can say bit.ly / Amy's party. It's really cool. And like I said, I love the fact that you can see how much activity it's getting. I use it for my own shopping link as well in my VIP group. So I know, is what I'm doing working and am I getting traction? And then you can also see if you did something day by day, that spike. Like, oh, on Tuesday, I got a lot of hits. I wonder why. What did I post? So yeah.
That's awesome. Thanks, Brittany.
Welcome.
Someone said, in an event, can you schedule your posts or do you just go in for that 2 hours and you are constantly posting that 2 hours?
I've honestly never tried to schedule the post in the event. I've always just let my family know I need this 2 hours. I'm going to be unavailable, and I've just tuned in for that 2 hours. And then since I have everything in the Google Doc to where I can copy and paste, that gives me time in between posts to be able to go in and answer comments still.
Awesome. And it looks like Brenda said, which I didn't know about this, there are bots we can go in and block on Facebook. Select settings, blocking, in the ad block contact, type fact check and fact checker. Those are the ones that are reporting our posts. So I've never tried that. And Kaylee, how many of the 2 hour events do you do per week?
With those, since I'm doing the majority of the posting all in that 2-hour block, I can do up to 3 parties comfortably. I could probably do more, but I choose not to because I don't want to be doing it every night. But I have had weeks that I'll do up to 3.
Have you ever had issues with getting like put in Facebook jail from posting constantly for the 2 hours?
So I haven't been blocked personally, but I know some of my hostesses, if they've been super active in the group, they'll get blocked halfway through, and then it'll be a couple of days before they can post again. When that happens, I just let them know, start sending people private messages, and then they do that, and everything works out just fine.
I will say, to go along with that, with hosting parties, you want to make sure that your posts are scheduled at least 30 minutes apart. And I know we all do a lot of copying and pasting, but it's really, really important that you try to change something in the text, because actually if at least 10% of the text is not changed, the Facebook algorithm makes it to where that post is not seen by as many people. So even if you just change the emojis or, you know, you want your people in your group to know your personality. So add your own little flair at the end. But more people are going to see it if you're not just copying and pasting. That will help you not get flagged. And then also what I do is I make, like my VIP group, I have 5 administrators in case I ever get put in Facebook jail. My VIP group is not getting shut down. Not today, Facebook. So I do that in my party groups as well. I make sure that my hostess is an administrator, so that way that doesn't happen. But yeah, you just have to be careful that you're in actual groups, that your posts are spread out, especially if you're running like 3 parties at a time. Yeah, I think business pages have less blocking, if that even made sense, what I just said. All right. All right, it looks like, any other questions? Brittany, thanks for sharing about Bitly. All right, so awesome. So those of us who talked about the parties tonight, we'll just jump on a Facebook Messenger chat, and then we can put together some resources, and I'll just do one big post in Fire so that we'll have access to the graphics. Can you repeat the blocking on Facebook? Which part? Oh, okay. So Brenda, once we make that post, if you want to comment that in Fire on the post, that might be helpful too, so that people can see that. Awesome. All right, well, thanks for tuning in today. Thanks for your time. I know Erica wasn't here. She wanted to be. Let's all hope she's having that baby today. And I will check Fire later for that post. So everyone have an awesome day.